So I'd like to bring something to the attention of you homeowners, you people out there who are taking on old home projects. A lot of people are going to find these old concrete wash tubs in their basements. And I just want to alert you that these things are death traps. You got to really be careful with these things. If you have one of these in your home, I would highly recommend that you get a flashlight and very carefully get under that thing. Well, maybe even not so much get under it, but very carefully get around that thing and make sure that it's secure. Make sure it's secure to the wall. Make sure that the feet underneath are secured and they're not rusted out, anything like that. Anything that would make this thing unsound. These things are extremely heavy. I would say it's at least 400 pounds, maybe more. It would take 4 men and a boy to lift it and get it out of this out of my basement. I don't know how they got them inside the basement back in probably maybe the 30s or 40s when it was installed. How they even got it in here. It is so heavy. I don't know what they were thinking. You know, let's make a wash tub out of concrete. Are you kidding me? There had to be something else that they could have used technology-wise back in the, even cast iron would have been less heavy than this thing. It's just an insane piece of furniture, I guess you'd call it. But in my experience, what happened to me is I had some plumbing work done on the house, and the main plumbing line behind me, which you can see, was right next to this old wash tub. And the poor guy, young guy, was cutting and working on the plumbing, and he must have leaned. I didn't see what happened, but I certainly heard it. He leaned up against the sink as he was working, and boom! I mean, the most unimaginable, frightening sound that you can think of as this thing came off the wall and slammed onto the ground. Thank goodness the poor kid, he was not underneath it. He didn't get hurt. I don't know, like I said, how he was positioned over it or around it, but luckily the thing came down and he was not injured in the process of this thing coming down. So be very careful. If you have one of these in your house, I can totally see a young kid going and hanging on it, trying to look up, see what's inside or whatever, or pets or yourself. These things are freaking dangerous. And if it comes down on you, you are going to break a leg. You are going to break something. You're going to be injured really severely. So, you know, be very careful with these things. If you have them in your house, inspect them regularly. Make sure that the footings and the connections to the wall, etc., are secure, and you're not going to have a tragic accident with this thing. Now, it's made out of concrete. I've seen some other YouTubers out there who have disassembled or destroyed these things with a sledgehammer and get them out. Again, it's the only way to get them out, unless you've got 4 really strong friends who can come and help you lift it and carry it out. But even then, you know, you got to get it onto a truck. You got to get it to the dump. How are you going to do that? So I went out and got a sledge, and I'm going to bang on it. And hopefully I can get it down to a pile of rubble, and then that way I can get it out of here by the bucket full, and have this thing out of here. I've since had it replaced with a more modern molded plastic laundry sink, as well as a bunch of other plumbing done. But I tell you what, this was a really interesting thing to learn. I always took these things for granted. We've had them in previous houses when I was a kid, and boy, I tell you what, it's really scary to think about what could happen if this thing came down on you. So be mindful of these things, and until then, I'm going to get my sledge going, and we're going to see if we can get this thing out of here. Just so you know, hands, eyes, ears protection, and let's give it a go. Well, I gotta admit, I'm a little winded after that project. Probably talking really loud. There you go. Take out my ear protection. Well, we've got it pretty much down to a manageable pile of rubble. I think still a little bit more sledging to go, but I'll be able to get this thing out of here now in pieces and have it be gone forever as a hazard in this old basement. But not too difficult. It only took me a few minutes to bang it up with a 10-pound sledge. So not too difficult a demolition project where demolition projects go. So my suggestion to you: get rid of these old tubs. They're dangerous. I would not want this thing to come down on you or your kids or your pets or anything else. So be careful out there, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, come back. I'll be putting up more videos as time allows. It's a very difficult process, doing home improvements, especially when you're doing it all by yourself. So I'm with you folks out there who are doing this on your own as well. All right, be careful out there, and we'll see you on the next video. Alright, so I decided I couldn't leave you guys hanging and just show the job half done, so I gave you the rest of that time lapse to see how the rest of it cleaned up. And this little corner of the basement now is so much better than it was previously. All the old appliances are gone. I got some nice new appliances, and I'm enjoying them immensely. After being in an apartment and having to scrounge quarters up, it's nice to come down to the basement, throw a load of laundry in. Shout out to the guys over at Comfort Home Heating and Plumbing, who did an excellent job with me with the plumbing, putting in the faucets and the service for the washer, and putting in the new sink, which replaced that old concrete thing that you just saw me demolish. So all is good down here in this corner of the basement, and slowly but surely the old house is being improved. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.